Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? Jared Fuller here. I know it's late. I typically do the video updates during the day on Sundays. Again, it's another week of not getting around to doing things until late, and for that I do apologize. It's been a very busy week and a very busy weekend. First things first, the weekend kind of ended on a bad note. It started out good. Well, it started out great, actually. I went up to my cousin's house yesterday, or actually tonight, because it's not after midnight yet, I don't think. Let me double check. No, it's still 11:25. So I went to my cousin's house earlier this evening, and I'd bitten down on a piece of venison jerky, and my front tooth broke off. So now what I have to do is set up a dentist appointment, and my cousins know a good dentist in Flint, so I'm going to have to call them tomorrow and see about setting up an appointment, see what they can do for the tooth that chipped off, maybe put a implant or do something, I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see how things go tomorrow. But I was really upset about that. It didn't hurt, but I knew when I bit down, and I could feel it like a crackle or a crunch or something, and then I looked down at my hand, and oh my God, it's my tooth. I didn't bleed or anything, of course, it's a tooth. But I'm thinking that what they're going to do is they're going to go in and cut out the rest of the tooth fragment, because there's still tooth fragment in my gums. So if I sound differently now than I did last week, it's because there's a tooth missing. But the best part of the week was I got to meet a couple of cancer warriors from right here in Michigan. Their names are Bryson and Preston Ricker from Cedar Springs, Michigan. On yesterday, they had, it was a fundraiser at the park in town. And I had driven a pretty good distance from where I live at. It's quite a ways. I'd say about 70, 75 miles at least, one way. But I got to meet Bryson and Preston and their parents. They are an amazing family. I got to talk to the kids, for a short time. And I talked to their parents, and they're really just awesome people, sweet people. I talked to Bryson and Preston's grandma, which would be their dad's mom, and she's a really, really sweet lady. And their dad, Brian, had given me this bracelet, the newest bracelet, added to my wrist here. If I can just kind of pull this closer up, right here. This Ricker Strong bracelet that you see, and then on the reverse side it says, "With God, all things are possible." So to the Rickers, Bryson, Preston, Kim, and Brian, and Brian's mother, I just wanted to say thank you so very much for allowing me to come out and for meeting all of you. You're a wonderful, beautiful family. I send all my love and best wishes to you and the kids. And I wanted to add that they raised $8,000 in yesterday's fundraiser. So, yay! Yes, I was so relieved to get that bit of news. My dad was on Facebook, and he saw it on Facebook's Fox 17 Facebook page, and he says, "Well, does this look familiar, this picture?" Yes, it does look familiar. The picture that is featured on Fox 17, I actually saw the picture being taken, and I was standing, like, off camera. I was standing behind, I think, or kitty corner from the photographer who snapped the picture. It was a really nice family picture. And, yeah, I got to shake Preston's hand and Bryson's hand and Brian's hand, and I talked to Kim for a few minutes, and just a really nice family, really nice, super nice, lovely family. love them. And I told them that if there's anything further I can do to help out, or to participate in any fundraisers of any kind, just let me know. They have my cell phone number. And they have my mailing address too. I've been having problems with my cell phone. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully, it is a problem that will resolve itself. If not, I'm going to have to take it into the Metro PCS building, the store in Corunna, and see what they can do. And go from there. It's been a busy week. I've been to Saginaw. I've been to Owasso. I've been to Lansing. I've been to Flint. I've been everywhere this past week. But the weekend was probably the best part of the entire week. Just getting to meet the Ricker family, and I had written a poem for Bryson and Preston too. I hope you guys had a chance to check out the poem video here on my YouTube channel, and of course there is a thumbs down, but that doesn't mean anything to me. It's just somebody's opinion. And while I do welcome criticism as long as it's constructive, and you know, I'm open to constructive criticism, but you know, either way, it's not going to stop me or deter me from writing poems for the Cancer Warriors, and it's certainly not going to stop me or deter me from adding videos to my channel. You know, it is what it is. And I know people can be mean and spiteful, you know, you know how people are in this day and age. I don't really have to get into that. You people know. But anyway, another bit of good news is on Saturday, I had mailed out a bird shirt. Not on Saturday, I didn't mail out a bird shirt. I mailed out the bird shirt on, I think, Thursday. And I mailed it to Morgantown, West Virginia, and the Warrior received his shirt yesterday on Saturday. So Saturday was probably the pick day of the weekend. On top of getting to meet the Ricker family, the Warrior got his bird shirt. So it, you know, other than my, you know, tooth getting broken off, the weekend has been just really good. The week's been busy, and I've been on my feet all week. So I was at my cousin's yesterday. My dad and Amy had never been to my cousin's house up north. They lived in Chesaning for about 7-8 years. Now they moved way up by Gladwin, and it's about 53 miles from their, actually it is 53 miles from their driveway to ours. But we had a great time, and they asked us what our plans were for Thanksgiving. And although we haven't gotten through Halloween yet, but it's always nice to plan ahead. And they asked us what our plans were for Thanksgiving, and we said, well, we don't know yet, you know. And hopefully, I mean, if we have no other plans, we would love to join them for Thanksgiving. I know the kids were really happy to see us, because when we got there, it was Anthony, Damien, Natricia, and Ethan. And Alexis was at her aunt and uncle's house. She's the baby in the family. She's the youngest of 5 kids. And she came back home when my dad and my cousin went bow hunting. She came back home. Her aunt brought her back home, and she saw me because I was sitting on the porch, and she saw me, and she just come running right up to me and got her hands up, you know. And I think she's only 2 or 3 or something like that. I think she's 2. I don't even remember how old my cousins are. God forgive me. But she's little. She's still a toddler. She saw me, and you know, her eyes got real big, and she's running up to me with her hands up, and it's like, well, come here, baby. Come here, Lex, you know. And oh yeah, we had a good time. I'm tickling her and on her neck, you know, pretending like I'm chewing on her neck, but of course I really wouldn't do that. But it's fun. I love spending time with my family. So that's always nice. This week has been just really busy. I know when I did last week's video, I had gotten home from East Lansing because I took my brother and his girlfriend down to East Lansing to pick up my brother's girlfriend's son. That's a mouthful. And then I've been to Saginaw. I mean, you saw the videos. We were under the Johnson Street Bridge in Saginaw. My dad is an outdoorsy kind of a guy. He likes to hunt and fish. So we were in Saginaw, and yeah, it's, I'm not really an outdoorsy kind of a person, other than I like going on joyrides, but as far as hunting and fishing is concerned, it's just not my shtick. I would just rather drive. I would rather drive to different places and just check things out. Even if I go to Lansing, and I've been to Lansing a gazillion times, but it's still fun, and I don't mind taking Dad, down under the Johnson Street Bridge to cast his line if that's what he wants to do. I mean, I could sit there and watch him, or as you saw in the videos, I could just walk around and show you guys the sights and sounds of the city, which is okay too if you're not a country person and you live in the city, or if you don't live in Saginaw or anywhere in Michigan and you've never been to Saginaw before, well, there you go. I like to kind of give my viewers a taste of Michigan, if, my viewers who live out of state. But anywho, I haven't really done much writing lately other than the poem I'd written for Bryson and Preston. And they received my letters, by the way. This is another detail I forgot to mention. They received my letters because I had sent them some letters. And, that's one way, because I don't have Facebook anymore. It's one way for me to connect with the warriors, with the cancer kids. And this was before I actually met Bryson and Preston in person, face to face. They're just a really nice family. And I noticed that Bryson is a state fan, Michigan State University. He's a greener. He's going green. He's East Lansing represent. And that kind of... because I was talking to his grandma, and I mean, she's just a really nice lady, And I said, I couldn't help but notice that Bryson is wearing, not Wolverine colors, he's wearing Spartan colors. And she says, oh yeah, he's a State fan. He loves State. And I said, that's a good choice. I said, because my pediatric oncologists are from MSU. They're MSU grads, and they come from East Lansing, and they're still in the Lansing area as far as I know. And she says, well, how interesting. And she told me, she says, you know what? She says, I read your letters that you had written to the boys, and she says, I have never in my life actually gotten myself to be so emotional just by reading a letter. I actually got involved in what I was reading in a letter. And she says it just it brought tears to my eyes, because here it is. We have a guy who has actually gone through this, and he's reaching out to my grandsons, who are both cancer survivors or cancer fighters. And she says that really just hit me. It just kind of hit me in the heart, and we sat and talked for a good 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most. I mean, she was just really, really nice. The whole Ricker family is nice. And their Facebook page is called Team Ricker Strong. It's the word team and then Ricker Strong, which, let me see if I can pull that up for you. Back it up just a little bit. It's RICKERSTRONG. Team Ricker Strong. So that's just the newest bracelet that I've added to my arm of bracelets. Oh yeah, when I was up at my cousin's house earlier this evening, the kids were wanting to take my bracelets off. They do that all the time, and mind you, they're just little kids. And, Jared, I want a bracelet, I want a bracelet. I'm sorry, kiddos, I'm sorry, but you cannot have these bracelets. These bracelets are very sentimental to me, and I know you like the bracelets, and I'm glad that you noticed the bracelets, but you can't have the bracelets, I'm sorry. They're just very sentimental to me, and I could never get rid of these bracelets. There's a lot of important people that even though there's a few of them that I don't speak to anymore, I still wear their bracelets, and that may be the inspiration for another poem that I have been brainstorming actually for a while, and I just might get it down on paper and make a YouTube video and make a poem video for my YouTube channel, rather. Yeah, other than that, I'm doing okay. This coming Saturday, I almost forgot this little detail. This coming Saturday, the 28th, I will have my van paid off because I financed, and yes, I'm so excited about getting my van paid off, which means that I can start saving money to go on out-of-state trips. There's people from Colorado and New York and Florida and just all over, Texas even, West Virginia. There's people that want to meet me. They want me to save up for a plane ticket, to get the cheapest plane ticket I can get and fly out to their houses. And I think 2018 is going to be the year that I do some serious traveling. And these are cancer warriors, not to mention, their families too, of course. But people in the entertainment business, they've invited me to their house, actors and their parents. They have invited me to their house. And so I've got this feeling that 2018 and 2019 will be a couple of very active years for me. And I am just so looking forward to it. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. As a matter of fact, I had recently just talked to the mother of a cancer warrior from Colorado, and they moved into a new house, and they've been really busy with moving and making it feel like home. And it's been wonderful. And it was so great to hear her voice. We must have talked on the phone for about an hour. And it was just a wonderful conversation. We talked about Facebook and social media in general. We talked about childhood cancer awareness, raising awareness. We talked about plans for when I come and visit. I mean, I even do Skype videos with a cancer mother and her family, her son included, who is a wellness warrior. We do Skype videos. She lives in New York, and I mean, there'll be times we can do Skype videos for an hour and a half at the most. So we have pretty serious conversation and very serious connection here. There's people from all over wanting to meet me, and I'm so ecstatic, and I'm looking forward. There's even people that live in Ohio who want to meet Jared. They want to meet Jared Fuller, and I'm so ecstatic. I'm so excited about that. And it feels good to know that there are still people in this world who want to meet me in spite of whatever else goes on. And those are the people that I keep in my life. So, haters gonna hate. Like I said, it's been a very busy, but it's been a terrific weekend. I haven't had a great weekend like this in I don't know how long. Of course, I also uploaded some other videos during the week where I'm just kind of talk about life and death, and I take notes on childhood cancer advocates, which is something else that I discussed with an advocate who I'm really good friends with. We've developed a very serious friendship, and we talk about things that we wouldn't talk. We wouldn't have discussions with anybody else about the things we talk about, which is something that I love about our friendship, our dynamic of our friendship, and the conversations we have. But she's an advocate, and she was indirectly affected by it, and what she's trying to do is she's trying to give a voice to the advocates who are indirectly affected, and I give her credit for that. She's transparent with her honesty and saying that, hey, I am not a parent of a child who was affected by cancer, but I feel very concerned about this, and nothing is going to change my mind about raising awareness. I want to help. And I love her for that. She's a terrific person. I don't know if she watches my YouTube videos. I'm hoping she does. But the things that I mentioned in the Take Notes on Advocates video is pretty much the same thing that I've said to her, mentioned to her, that, it's okay to be an advocate for anything you want, but there are a lot of dishonest advocates out there. And again, I'm not going to be quiet about it at all. And that goes for anybody. I just found this out not too long ago, that there was someone on Facebook who was using another child's picture, pretending that it was her child who has cancer. Gave him a different name, but everybody recognized who the child was. And they called this person out, you piece of garbage, you piece of trash, which I would have done the same thing, because it's wrong to use someone else's pictures of their children to make a buck. Okay, and that's demonstrated time and time again on Facebook. I mean, as far as I know now, because I don't have Facebook anymore. But that's always been the case. Fake GoFundMe pages, people who steal the pictures of other people's children and trying to pass them off as their own kids, which is just, not only is it wrong, but it's immoral. And my question to that, my response to that is, if we know that that is wrong, then why do you draw a line in the sand? You for some reason, it's the same people who find it acceptable for my opposition to continuously lie about knowing what it's like to be a parent. That's always going to be my argument, guys. And I'm being very transparent in that. How is that different? And it's just part of the point that I'm always trying to constantly and continuously point out to people. That is what I'm trying to get at. We know that it's not okay for people to steal pictures of other people's kids and pass them off as their own to make money, but it's okay to make false claims to win over the hearts of people who are vulnerable and feeble? Where do you draw the line? How is it acceptable for this guy, but we know it's wrong for that person? It's getting people to understand that. But they don't understand it, and they don't see it. Because, it's the problem that we have with Facebook. And just social media in general. But it's one of the reasons why I think I don't actually recall, not verbatim, what I said in the Truth About Advocates video, but I know it was somewhere along those lines of, people do a fine job of hiding behind a Facebook profile. Because what this opposition of mine, what he says to me on the phone never gets seen on Facebook anywhere. He only projects what he wants his friends to see. And people forget that there's always, always, always two sides to every story. And before you jump the gun and just take his word for it because, oh, he's so perfect and he's such a saint, he's beautiful. He's not a saint. He's not beautiful. Just keep in mind, there's two sides to every story, and he's only telling you the side that he wants you to hear. He hasn't called me back yet. Not since, how could I have almost forgotten this? I've been having a troll, and it's a senior citizen, by the way. I don't know if any of you have been noticing the comments that she's been leaving on my videos, but she's been getting irate with me, calling me a narcissist and a coward and a bleepity bleepity bleep. I'm guessing maybe a little too much whiskey in the Ovaltine, perhaps. I don't know. A grown woman who wants to play high school games by trolling people's YouTube channels. And, you think people would have better things to do. But, like I said, just like anybody else who kisses the butt of the person that I am very spoken out against, they're going to have an objection to anything I say in my videos, and that's okay. That's alright. I don't have a problem with that, because that means that I'm being heard. So, that's cool with me. I'm all for it. Haters gonna hate, like they say, But, all of that aside, it's been a very productive week. Dad's snoozing over here on the couch. Amy, she's out to bed. She's been staying out in our camper in the backyard. It's quieter out there, and it's nice when you can just hear the crickets, or and you just kind of fall asleep. And that's what she likes. It's the sound of the outdoors, the country. She does sleep in here at times. Sometimes my dad will join her out there, or she'll just be out there by herself, or he'll be out there by himself. Either which way. I don't sleep out there. I sleep in the house. But yeah, I'm sorry that I'm getting to this video update so late, but I just wanted to get you guys up to date on what's been going on in my life. I will say, and I'll be as honest with all of you as I can be. When I got to visit and when I got to meet the Rickers yesterday, it really took a lot of weight off my shoulders with my stress and my anxiety, because that I've been dealing with this for quite some time. I haven't been to a doctor yet, but I intend to go, and I still want to get this taken care of. I'm procrastinating because I don't like medicine. I've taken medicine a good majority of my life. So yeah, you can understand the procrastination there. But it's serious, and I really need to take care of it, and I will. But when I got to visit with the Rickers, and I got to meet the Rickers for the first time yesterday, and I plan on getting involved with more of their events, by the way. They were very pleased to have met me, and I just can't wait to get involved with some other events that they have. But anyway, because I went to that yesterday, it lifted a weight off my shoulders. It was nice. And mind you, while I was at that fundraiser event, I was talking to my advocate friend. I was sharing with her my day, and she says, I wish I could have been there. And I said, I would have loved to have had you there with me, It was a wonderful time, and I really enjoyed myself. And like I said, I'm looking forward to future events. I can't wait. So it's also been brought to my attention that there was a young boy. His name was Devin Sow. He passed away, and it's very hard for me to talk about, as you could imagine. You know, it goes without saying. Whenever a child dies from this disease, it's heartbreaking for anybody. You know, this is one of those moments where, okay, you know, advocates and survivors alike, when there's the death of a child, that doesn't just affect the family, although the family does ask for their privacy sometimes, and they need their time to grieve and mourn. And anybody who, you know, comes in contact with any family who lost a child, and they ask for that, you should probably respect that. And just give them their space, give them all the time they need, and when they are ready to come out and talk to you, they will. Or when they are ready to reach out to the public, they will. They're not, you know, they're not going to put you off forever, at least I don't think they will, but it depends, because you're talking about the death of a child. And it's not about us, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about the family. And although they do ask for their privacy and their time to grieve and mourn, I mean, we all take a hit collectively, because when we're advocating, and that, you know, I'm also a member of this community, but we all take a hit collectively. We all, when a child dies, a part of us dies with them. Survivor guilt has been really, really strong this week. I'm not trying to make this about me, but I heard that there were, I think, 12 kids who lost their lives just within this past week alone. Majority, if not all of them, were DIPG warriors, brain cancer warriors. It's very heartbreaking to me, as it should be heartbreaking to anybody. This is, like I said, it's a collective punch. It's a kick to the stomach, especially for the families. And while my heart goes out to Devin's family and to all of the families who have been recently affected with the loss of a child. As a matter of fact, my dad, I think, if memory serves me correctly, because he did show me one of his friends, or someone he became friends with, her son had passed away last week. They called him, I think, Little Monkey was his nickname, or something like that. It has to do with monkey, had monkey in the nickname. It's heartbreaking. I mean, I couldn't even begin to describe what those parents are thinking and feeling, because I have no clue. I could not tell you. But generally speaking, it is just, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine that. But my heart goes out to them. And I love them, and I stand united with them if they're watching this video. It's really painful, because sometimes when you're confronted with things like this, whether they be Facebook friends, family, whatever, or they're just acquaintances, you know, and when things like this happen, I mean, for me personally, it's like, what can I say? What can I do? What can I say? There's nothing I can say that's going to ever ease that kind of pain. And there's so much I can say. And there's so much that, you know, there's so much to be said. But deep down, I know that my words, because this is a very unspeakable tragedy, and there's just times when I'm at a loss for words because it's like I don't know what to say, and sometimes there's nothing you can say, and that is the reality. I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have feeling. Of course you should. Anybody with a heart would feel horrible about a tragedy like this. But there are times when there's just nothing you can say. And many, many times I find myself in that position. I've actually spoken with people in person in real life, whether it be on Facebook or in public, when I go to the charity events, and I just like this year when I answered phones and I recorded pledges at the Children's Hospital there in Flint. Some of the phone calls I received were very heartfelt and very genuine, and they say, well, this is a memory of my daughter, or this is a memory of my son. And I'm just sitting there on the phone like this, and I'm just shaking my head, and it's like my heart skips a beat. And they told me, well, they died from cancer. And trying to fight through those tears, I'm thinking to myself, my God. And even now I get emotional because it's just one of those things, and you want so badly just to reach through the phone and hug them and say, I'm here for you, I love you, you're not alone, but I'm sorry that you had to go through this. This is just one of those things that I could never know what that's like, but my heart goes out to you, and I'm sorry. And trying to keep my own, trying to keep my ego out of the equation, and trying not to imply anything like, I'm a cancer survivor and that. And I'm refraining from this because, okay, it's not a good time to be telling them that I'm a cancer survivor, but just for the sake of clarity and for the sake of vanity, you just want to reach out and help people. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you do it honestly, that's and you don't have to make up stories. Which, again, that's what's going on. That's what happens. And yes, I've been threatened to be sued. Oh well. But anyway, there's just those moments I don't know what to say, and I feel bad. A part of me feels bad because it's like I should say something, but what can I say? And even though I ponder, trying to figure out what to say, my words aren't going to make much of a difference. It's not going to help, because there's no amount of words anywhere in the dictionary that I could ever use that would ever justifiably amount to their grief. I mean, their grief was unspeakable. I couldn't describe. But anyway, I just it's terrible. It's just so rough. But my heart goes out to those parents anyway, and I hope they know that, and I hope they know that I care, and for what it's worth, because I'm not on Facebook anymore, I still care. I'm still trying to do the best I can, and I just want people to know that. in spite of anything you hear about me that's negative, I still care. And I always will. Although it hurts sometimes, and it does, it's painful. Because, I was just having a conversation with my dad about this. I said, it's one thing. I said, when I've reached out to so many people, and I've devoted so much of my time to other people who just never appreciated what I did for them. I said, that is probably one of the hardest lessons that you learn in life, is that you can devote your time to people, you can show people that you care about them and you love them, and you want them to know that you care. You want them to have that sense of family and love and understanding, and they have the gumption to throw you away. To me, that it's one of the hardest things ever. It leaves a scar, because it's like, I'm devoted to helping you, and I'm trying to show you that I care, but you're just pushing me away, and it's unfair. And I'm sorry that you would believe something so negative about me. That's my dog. I think he wants outside. You want outside, Barkley? Gotta go out. Give me just a second, folks. I gotta let my dog out. I'll be right back. Hold on. Come here, Barkley. Come here. Go ahead, buddy. Leave this door open for a little bit. It's kind of warm in here. So yeah, busy week. I had some wonderful conversations. I've been having troubles with my cell phone lately, though. So if anybody tries texting me or calling me and they can't get through, or their text messages don't get through, you can still email me. I'll respond to your emails. I'm going to try to figure out what the deal is with this phone. I don't know what's going on with it. For the amount that I pay every month to keep it going, they better figure something out. But yeah, guys, that's about it. There's really not much else to talk about. Oh yeah, and you guys probably seen a video that I did with my nephew. His name's Caden. That's the little boy that I picked up in East Lansing last week. He was here a couple nights ago, and by the way, he forgot his little junior firefighter badge. This little junior firefighter badge here. It says Junior Firefighter, Chesaning Brady Fire Department, and we live in Brady Township here. So yeah, so Caden, if you were wondering what happened to your badge, Uncle Jared's got it, and I'll hold on to it for you, and maybe we could do another silly goofing around video. We were fencing with toothpicks. It was his idea. He wanted to use Q-tips, and I said, no, we can do toothpicks. Q-tips may have been a little more safer, but it's not often I get to goof off like that on my YouTube channel. We were just having fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I have got to get some sleep. I'm going to call the dentist tomorrow in Flint and see what they can do to help me. I don't know what they're going to do, but there's still tooth fragment in my gum. When I had bitten down on a piece of venison jerky, and it broke right off, and I was so mad. It's like, son of a bitch, But I'm going to get that taken care of tomorrow, or at least look into getting an appointment set up. And that's about it, guys. I'll keep you informed on how that goes, and hopefully my Medicaid will cover it. If not, I'll have to look into a payment plan, and see if the payments are reasonable. Because I heard Medicaid only covers certain things. I'm not sure about dentistry. I know there's certain things they consider as cosmetic. And then there's certain things that's considered medical. And there's a line drawn. I'm not really clear or sure of what the rules and regulations are about that. But tomorrow, I'll probably, set up an appointment over the phone, of course, and bring on the numbing, numb it where I can't feel a thing. I don't know what else to say. I'm assuming that was all I wanted to say. Hey, Barkley. I'm going to shut the door. He probably sees a cat or something outside. Yeah, the door's open. I let Barkley outside. I'm just getting ready to wrap up this video here. I got to it late. But, I've been gone majority of the weekend, and I knew I was going to be late getting to this, and all of my subscribers are probably wondering, hey, where's Jared's video update? He forgot to do it. No, I didn't. I'm just running behind, so much going on. But I'm going to wrap it up now, guys, and say thank you again for watching this week, and thank you for subscribing, and keep your negative, nasty comments off my videos. You will be blocked permanently. I'm not going to tolerate it. I don't care if you're 12 or however old you are. You're not going to do this anymore. You're done. And you know who you are. A little less whiskey in the Ovaltine next time. Okay? But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.